ride. Yeah,
we're going up to San Francisco.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Got a ways to go.
Yeah, we sure do. Thank you. Wish us luck.
If you're watching this, no, I would give you a cookie if I could to say thank you, but I can't, so here's a picture of one. Secondly, I hope you didn't just come here to laugh at my dad killing a midget chicken. Definitely consider taking a trip yourself. This was the most memorable motorcycling experience of my life, and I'll have you know I kiboshed this whole week-long trip together 3 days earlier. Charted out the whole route and made reservations while at work in a matter of 3 hours. The whole trip, we were well rested, well fed, and, well, having a good time.
Wow. Not like this. It's not me.
Tools like Airbnb and Google Maps make planning trips a breeze. I mean, you could do this on the toilet if you wanted to nowadays. So no excuses. We're not even halfway through the trip and we're going to jail.
Hello.
Let's go! Traffic was something I was looking forward to escaping. That feeling of being trapped and hung up was synonymous with things that had been going on in my life at the time, and it felt like an escape I couldn't wait to make. And like some spoiled ass kids eating our ice cream first, we immediately got on a great Southern California road, Topanga Canyon Road. Literally 15 minutes from my place. Let's not waste any time. I was eager to feel the freedom of the first curves, but here comes the first tip. Sunrise Rossi rides sound romantic and nice until all that blinding serenity and beauty from the sun makes you hit that dead squirrel in the road, which turns you into a flying squirrel off a cliff, and then, well, a dead human being at the end, which is actually ironic. So plan your sporty riding sometime after 10 a.m. if possible. Tuna Canyon Road is a residential road, so unless you want to be a resident of a hospital or prison, take it easy. But it quickly provided the first awesome view of the trip. All of Santa Monica, the ocean, the coast, and off in the distance the Los Angeles skyline. It was a great send-off view as we escaped from LA. From Tuna Canyon Road, we made our way to an outer section of the infamous Mulholland Road, stopping now and then to jet lee each other for no reason. No reason. There are literal castles up here though. Really beautiful homes. The kind of place you'd expect to pass by and see Kylie Jenner washing her car. Jokes! She don't wash her own car.
Do you see it?
Can you imagine freaking nothing but a freaking actress and shit over here? I bet people with money.
Not us.
Yeah, not us.
Look at him! A 57-year-old man running like a child.
We're right here.
But hey, I mean, that's how you feel when you're out exploring like this. If you're on YouTube watching this, I'd bet 5 peanuts and some old underwear you've seen our Mickey Mouse and his Mulholland videos. Awesome, amazing content, but the dude must have restraining orders everywhere out there because Mulholland has miles more of juicy, curvy roads with both fast and tight sections, and some views a bit better looking than a single curve. Pro tip, somewhere on Mulholland there is a portal to Mexico, but you'll have to subscribe to get me to tell you where. And of course, no motorcycle road trip would be complete without a little pucker moment. Alright, my next tip for you guys, when planning, give yourself plenty of extra time to deal with unforeseen circumstances like polar bear herd crossings, explosive diarrhea attacks, alien abductions, or in this case, road closures. Leaving Mulholland, we were in for another treat. Latigo Canyon Road, which from the top coming down is absolutely stunning. Seriously. You break out of the bland mountains and see all of those curves waiting for you. All of that ocean to chase down. Sun sparkling on the water like champagne. Which honestly kind of blinds you, but you're not gonna mind. Sometimes you see sights that seem as though the world is a prom date smiling at you, inviting you in for the adventure to come. And this was one of those moments, man. Latigo Canyon Road is tight though, and downhill also, so your legs and lower back are gonna be burning like you were P90X and then haven't been in shape for a couple of years. Oh yeah, nothing like the burn of Satan's farts in your thighs to make you enjoy a bit of straight flat road as we made our way from beautiful Malibu through She Done Seen Better Days, Oxnard, and Ventura. And of course, I can't let the old man get away with no harassment for too long. Before heading out on the trip, to be honest, I thought I'd be bored on the long straight sections, but even those roads fascinated me. The farmland landscape was ever changing, and it sparked childlike curiosity in me that had me pigeon-heading it the whole time. A common feeling on this trip was, hey, I've heard about it, now I'm here. Wrong turns were made. So, keep in mind, it's always good to have a plan in case someone gets lost. My pops is one of those paranoid hippie types that doesn't carry a phone, so it was excessively essential to stay near. And we never made a plan, so I always just chased his discombobulated ass down. Plan a little better. On our way up north, we hit one of the roads that's been on my bucket list for a while now. Maricopa Highway Road, which was pristine, fast, and had an excellent road surface the whole way up. Something special about this road and unique is how wide it is, which gives you super sight when it comes to spotting things in the road. As this road exercised its privilege on me, everything was in plain view. Definitely one of my favorite roads in Southern California, but she's a bit of a butterface. Everything about this road was incredible. Curves, road quality, pace, and all. And its transparency was unique, but she wasn't much to look at. People, can we please get a round of applause for the fact that this man probably bought one pair of underwear for the whole trip, but somehow managed to bring along a small, crudely welded, self-made motorcycle service center. MacGyver would approve. I've always wanted to hit Maricopa Highway, and luckily it didn't hit back. So after some maintenance, we were back on the road through Ojai, past Lake Casitas, and really scenic farmland to Santa Barbara. I wasn't going to admit this, but in honor of the transparency of Maricopa Highway, I sang some pale white-eyed girl in Santa Barbara. The whole way there in my helmet. A part of me would always play this weird story in my head that it would be cold, lonely, and hostile leaving home to travel. But the more I've done it, the more I've realized you'll find smiles and warmth almost anywhere you go if you conduct yourself well. So if you're of the same traumatized puppy mindset, please reconsider and go out and travel yourself. You'll be amazed what you find, honestly.
Yeah, got a ways to go.
Yeah, we sure do. Thank you. Wish us luck.
Once in Santa Barbara, we headed straight to one of my top 3 roads in Southern California. Now don't laugh, because I sound like a turkey saying it, But Gibraltar Mountain Road is tight, technical, and exciting because of the way the road cambers. It's like a roller coaster too because it's a constant, relatively steep climb, which sounds horrible, but something about the resistance of it and overcoming it is satisfying as hell. It's also the second most beautiful road we encountered on the trip from a scenery standpoint, and the best part is it isn't all at once. This road is like a good book with a plot that's constantly escalating, urging you to dig deeper, rewarding you the entire time until it finally crescendos and gives you one of the best views in Southern California. A rewarding ride for an even more rewarding view.
At one point, there was a piano here. You really have to fart?
You hear that? Is that on the video?
You can't just fart on the motorcycle on the way up?
No.
And left it behind 5 miles that way? You had to bring that fart up here?
A man gotta do what a man gotta do.
Gibraltar Road is two-faced, and it's an experience riding that spine of duality as you see lush tropical city and coastline on one side and barren cold mountain on the other, which kind of embodies the spirit of California. That whole ski and surf in one day, man, theme was on full display here, separated only by a ridge. Tip number 3 or 4 or 5 or something. It's a tip. Take it. It's a blessing being able to pull off rides like this in the winter in California, but as you can tell, it's 4 p.m. right here and there's still moisture on the ground, which if you're not careful can turn you into a slick tire McGee. And the sketchy part about it is it always follows the shade, which makes it hard to see. You might not know until it's too late. My pops was ahead of me in Malibu, but he toned that enchilada way down when he almost spun out twice. Leaving Santa Barbara, we somehow made it to Mexico? I don't know how that happened. Them damn portals ain't no joke. Exiting the portal though, we landed in the super cozy small town of Santa Ynez. It was a treat just walking the streets of wine country. But of course, after partaking in some wholesome white people activities, we ate, gambled, drank, and swam our night away. We went from Little House on the Prairie to hangover real quick. Gotta keep a balance, you know? We woke up before sunrise the next morning and struggled through our hangovers in freezing conditions. These winter rides are no joke, man, even in sunny California. You see my bike smoking, and luckily it's not lack of maintenance this time. It was about 48 degrees. The only casualty of the night, luckily, as we made our way from Chumash Casino and Resort to Figueroa Mountain Road.
You look sad.
Oh yeah, nothing like some fresh bovine fumes in the morning to get your day started. I might have scared it out of them though, so I can't really complain. There is great farm country scenery on this section of road. However, this was the one and only time where we felt like maybe we brought the wrong form of transportation. Maybe I'm just spoiled from Gibraltar, but Figueroa Mountain Road was my least favorite road of the trip. And you might feel the same too, unless going down rutted roads, slipping through cow poop and mud, and taking a couple swift uppercuts to the nuts sounds appealing to you. We should have brought the goddamn tractor out for this one. Potholes, cow crossings, and poo-poo is not the place to go Valentino Rossi. Hell, I wouldn't even go Mr. Bean on this one, to be honest with you. The only saving grace of this road were the views at the end, which were wine country, rolling hills, and really nice farmland, which would be awesome for a picnic, but I don't care how cool I am with my pops, man. We ain't never getting to that point. So we skipped the amazing opportunity for a romantic countryside picnic to head straight to one of my favorite locations of all time and one of my favorite moments of the entire trip. Pismo Beach. We were going to walk it until we realized this is one of the only places in Southern California to easily, and more importantly, legally, ride a motorcycle on the beach. Well, maybe. All I could say was nobody stopped us. Good old Karen over there probably didn't appreciate that quite as much as the birds did. I mean, how crazy is that? I've chatted with tons of people who ride motorcycles, but you pull out, oh yeah, that one time I gave all the chickens a heart attack while drifting a super sport on the sand as the waves licked my tires. And people will look at you like you're Neil friggin' Armstrong. Pismo Beach is one of the places you go visit and it instantly becomes a bucket list item you never even knew about. Imagine relaxing on the beach, watching the sunset, hearing waves rolling in with a background track of buggies, Can-Ams, and four-strokes causing mayhem off in the distance. It's like there's a Chaparral Motorsports on the beach, everyone responsible left for the day, and all your drunk buddies somehow got their hands on the keys. A constant party near the waves and a mix of Mad Max and EDC thundering on in the dunes nearby. And if you got the cojones to venture out there, it's like you're on a different planet, man. It's hilariously scary and exciting at the same time. Pismo Beach and just riding super sports on the sand was my pop's favorite part of the trip. We left before all the fun started though and headed to my favorite part of the trip. Forget my pops. Big Sur. And now a word from our sponsors. Jokes! Here's a quick tip though. If you take a trip anywhere, I highly suggest researching and trying out all the local food spots. Food was one of the things we left to chance on the trip, and we definitely ran into some good grub. But some spots were eh. And it's not a very good feeling being on the road all day, and when you finally come to rest and eat, it's poopy. If that had happened Thanksgiving dinner for the Pilgrims, this whole country would have failed. Now on to Big Sur. I always get nostalgic thinking back to flying down California's coast, my pops ahead of me with rolling hills and mountains of grass in the background, and for the first time in a long time, the sunshine couldn't be more vivid, the ocean couldn't be bluer, the grass couldn't be greener. I'd hate to quote Drake on this, but the only thing on my mind at that moment was, I can't see heaven being much better than this. And as a viewer, think for a second, you're never going to remember the time you played it safe, the time you took your vitamins and stayed home to cozy up and play Call of Duty. I will always vividly remember every emotion and detail of flying down that stretch of coast, overwhelmed by the beauty of the world, and that power of exercising my free will to create an adventure, a genuine story, with someone that I love. It's moments like this that pluck every note of the human spirit and play the song of a life well lived. And now as we exit that small Dr. Phil moment that we just had, just like that, the Mexican power straits ran out and we saw the sign. There is no, hey, welcome to Big Sur, guide or sign to let you know you've arrived. Only a typical road sign that motorcyclists know means curves and beautiful views up ahead. No, not Jennifer Lopez, silly. It's Big Sur! Big Sur is the best, worst road ever. This is gonna sound so misogynistic, so mansplaining, but if you're a guy and you've ever dreamt about having a threesome with two beautiful women, this is the motorcycling equivalent. You don't know what the hell to focus on, and you feel wholly incompetent at dealing with both. You end up being joyfully bombarded with picturesque views and some of the best corners you've ever experienced on a very well-kept road surface. I'm talking trees, cliffs, coast, mountains flying by you as you blast down this roller coaster of a road, your ears serenaded by the symphony of your exhaust, your eyes flashed with views of nature's version of heaven, the vibrations of your motor traveling through your wrists and booty hole up your spine, massaging your soul. The smell of fish, coastal breeze, and some of the freshest air you've ever inhaled. So crisp and refreshing that I swear if you could sell this, you would make a killing. Every sense fully electrified, every molecule of your being present in the moment. On Big Sur, you're not thinking about the taxes you owe, or how your teeth could just be a little bit straighter, or how if you had just a bit more experience, control, and character, she'd still be here. You, as you know it, and all your problems, triumphs, and worries cease to exist in that moment. And all that's left is the universe in all of its divine beauty surrendering to you, eager to light every sense that you have on fire. And it was there, waiting, ready for you all along. All it took was for you to give yourself up, forget yourself, and open yourself up to the beauty and purity of life without labels, without expectations, without disillusioned versions of what it should or shouldn't be. You are there. And there is everything you've ever searched for or longed for in all of the best of ways. In all honesty, it's probably a lazy man's version of meditation. It just forces you to be in the moment. I mean, a moment that good, how couldn't you be? But let me take a second and exit sensei mode to let you know that the bugs were not an accident. I was planning meticulous blurring to encourage you to one day take this trip and experience it in all of its entirety for yourself.
That was weak.
Somewhere on Big Sur are the best picnic grounds in Southern California. If only they weren't so damn hard to get to. We stopped on the way back, but I suggest using this as a rest stop on the way up. Plus, it would be a great place to huck one of the members of your travel party off a cliff real quick if they're irritating you.
Hell no, you die. Look at that.
The whole 20 miles up Big Sur is as good as I described it. You'll be spoiled the whole way. And side note, even if your only goal in life is to stun on your friends with super interesting, scenic, photogenic backgrounds, Big Sur got you! Heading away from the coast, we made our way through sections of mountain range that were so dreary, foggy, and tree-y. I half expected Edward Cullen to go running by me through the damn trees, butt-ass naked and sparkling. It was moments like this that made me happy to have my father with me. The next destination after this was Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. My only complaint about the trip was that we didn't have more time to explore the cities and areas we passed on our way to and from San Francisco. Santa Cruz was at the top of the list of cities I wish I had spent more time in. Young crowds, bars, restaurants, and posters everywhere for small events. It had this charming small town vibe while still having big city fun. It was the type of place you could party all night in and then wake up the next morning to accidentally order stuffed jalapenos from the girl you Nacho Libre'd last night. Plus, it's basically beach life without the crowds. If I could do it again, I would have stopped in Santa Cruz, but instead we cruised through Santa Cruz on our way to Pacifica while getting chased down by the sun. This was the only part of the trip where we felt like we were just trying to get to our destination on time. The only downside of traveling with your father is not being able to take that MILF from the bar back to your hotel. Oh. What? Family friendly? Oh, it's being chastised for dumb shit like this. In Pacifica, we ended up in our first Airbnb of the trip, nestled in the mountains and within walking distance of the ocean. It still smells like cow butthole. We have like 1 cup.
Good pour, that's fine.
We are poor. It's okay. As long as you're having a good time. One of the best parts of the trip was how every stop was story time with my pops as we recounted our own version of the same experience. That's toilet water, dude. I would have seen you.
Anyways, this other guy, you were in the front, and I was like, I hope this guy is watching for cops and this and that, because I was kind of behind a little bit.
After we got on the one after Los Olivos, I hit like 140, and I saw a cop.
Oh, shit. And then he turned on his signal, kind of.
Yeah, I
like,
saw
holy
that.
shit, he's gonna come get us. That's why.
But at that point, I was like, well, we're not even halfway through the chip, and we're going to jail.
I was like, damn, it's like, hopefully they don't get us, because if they do, it's kind of a little bit depressing to get a fucking citation, That's why, like I said,
Not
that's why I jumped
citation,
in.
man, incarceration. Genuine conversations I'll never forget, sprinkled with all kinds of rude jokes, of course. In case you forgot what it's like to get rained on.
I felt something cold, like it penetrated a damn thing.
What the hell? Pro tip alert! Do you want to take your girlfriend to a nice romantic dinner right on the beach? I'll let you in on a little secret. There is a Taco Bell on the beach in Pacifica. And believe it or not, they serve alcohol here too. Booze, Taco Bell, and beaches. That's a love triangle I can get in the middle of. I just wanted to go look at it. Look at it. Okay, that's nice. And walk back. But you're all, let's go get coffee from Taco Bell. Let's get quesadillas. Let's get... Winter trips in Southern California are cool, but keep in mind that we cut it so close on this trip, it rained on us the night before on our way back from said Taco Bell. Like legit rain. Super drip. Sploosh, sploosh, faux shizzle, no drizzle. Fantastic. We woke up in Pacifica to our bikes completely drenched, and while there's nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, there's plenty wrong with a bit of slip and slide when it comes to motorcycling. So we cruised down to the local diner to grab a bite to eat and let the road dry a bit. So this might be out of budget, but if your girl is hot or mad about dinner on the beach last night, breakfast on the beach ought to cool her down. Literally. After breakfast, we headed to our final destination, and not in a horrific movie death kind of way.
It's the most exciting thing we've done all day.
I'm talking San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. Look at that bush right there. That's a nice bush. Came all the way to San Francisco to look at a bush. Not that bush, this bush. I've only been to a handful of cities, but San Francisco has by far the most impressive inner city park I've ever seen. We're talking buffalo. That's a big cow, dude.
I thought we were gonna go and pet him.
I thought so too. I mean, if you're down to jump the fence, but... Nah, there's already a witness. We shouldn't do that. Chinese people doing yoga. Windmills. Horses. Lakes. Sports fields. Rivers, etc., etc. Bro, did I mention they have buffalo?
They're fucking buffalo!
Its location is impressive also. Smack dab in the middle of the city. No wonder real estate costs so much up here, man. Yeesh. It's so impressive, I wouldn't be surprised if the bridge dude and the park dude were in competition with each other when designing it. Just having a schlong swinging contest, trying to have the biggest bragging rights in the city. If Santa Cruz was number one, San Francisco was number 1.1 of the cities I wish I spent more time in. The sheer number of museums, parks, restaurants, tea gardens, bars, and monuments we passed told me this was the kind of place that would take months to explore.
Yeah. Dude, let's go to the tea garden right there.
But even if I was disappointed with the lack of time we had, it's that exposure and realization that leads to future trips. So there was no loss at the end of the day. Only things gained. Lane split mode on! Yup, imagine going 1,000 miles to get the hoo-ha out of traffic, only to end up right back in it. San Francisco feels like LA. like I never left. Except the scenery and vibe is a lot more European. The city also has a lot less of an urban feel to it, and the people seem nicer and more laid back.
It's a little sketchy, man. It's a little sketchy, but it's okay. We'll make it through.
But yep, people don't know how to drive over here either. The architecture there is way more intriguing also.
Let's go get you baptized.
With Victorian houses that are so juicy, apparently they're a tourist attraction? I didn't really get it. All in all, the fantastic shaped buildings were sprinkled all through the hills of San Francisco.
Yes, we're in San Francisco.
I also noticed San Francisco is a moped palooza. Not a lot of super sports, probably because of a lack of nice curvy roads, or maybe everyone there really is a bunch of hipsters. All I will say, I saw more mopeds than beautiful women, and I'll let you interpret that as you may.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another difference from LA. San Francisco decided lines weren't European enough or something, and had whole-ass children's books painted on its roads in downtown instead.
Hey, are we allowed to be here?
Expect to move through the pages of this road as if they were crowded dance floors. With mopeds, cars, electric scooters, and trains all sharing the road.
Woo!
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. That heart drop moment where all the maintenance that you never did gets ready to smack the living ignorance out of you with a hard-learned lesson.
Oh, you think it'll start?
Once again, I will emphasize that you do motorcycle maintenance before the trip, so your motorcycle doesn't just laugh at you like the Jared Leto Joker when you try and start it in a city 1,000 miles away from home.
No, I'm telling you, I could get it right here.
Push me right here.
You're in the wrong side of the street.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
But by the grace of Mamba Jumba Buddha, one push start later and we were on our way.
Hey, don't turn off your bike, man. What? Yeah, that's not even it. That's not it.
And yep, confirmed, curb hopping is frowned upon in San Francisco as well.
Oh, well, that didn't take long. What'd you say? Sorry, what? Oh, is this the wrong way?
Yeah, there's only one way, and you can't come on that end.
Oh, you can't park up here? Nope. Oh, sorry, man.
Parking's still free though. Pier 39 definitely gave me Santa Monica Pier vibes. A plethora of shops, boats, and little to-dos while being pretty crowded for such a gloomy day. The only real difference are the obese seals
The first one looks like you this morning when you were sleeping.
Fucking beautiful.
and floating prison off in the distance.
One of those, they made it harder to see.
We can look at apple tracks.
And from warm churros to cold-ass bridges. What a transition. Phenomenal. Just because your weather app says it's not going to or isn't raining doesn't mean it won't drizzle. Which at 70 miles per hour on a motorcycle feels damn well like rain. There's a certain feeling you get when you see something so massive and impressive, it's almost incomprehensible, like it's from another world. You get this unique feeling of your mind's horizons expanding as the experience of it readjusts the perspective of what's possible in your mind. The Golden Gate Bridge gave me something most people miss out on for years: childlike wonder. There's also a sense of connection that happens when you do things like this, because from that moment on, you now relate on a personal level to every movie, commercial, or song that nods its heads to this object that exists in the universe. You become more dynamic as a person and now have a story to tell anytime San Francisco or the Golden Gate Bridge comes up in conversation. After crossing the bridge and checking that off our to-do list, we gunned it back to the California sunshine with rain right on our asses the entire time, to the bougie little seaside town of Monterey, where I got hit on by a MILF at a bar, which I will probably write a song about someday, titled MILF of Monterey. Kinda catchy, no?
Like longer?
Yeah, I thought it was longer. No, that's...
From Monterey, we had to pass through Big Sur again, because it was just that good. However, it was a morning run this time, which was both beautiful and troublesome, because the fog right on the coast is brutal.
No, be careful, amigo. Too foggy.
Fucking asshole.
We finally broke through the fog and saw Big Sur in all of its morning glory, which was ridiculously beautiful. We then gunned it straight to Ojai, California, where we spent the night at a part-time musician's banjo-playing hippie's farm.
Looks nice, huh?
Picking eggs, lounging in his Renaissance-style pool and jacuzzi, and taking his Labrador Norman for a walk at the nearby river. And I'll wrap this video up with that, which should emphasize the fact that there are countless stories not included in this video that I'll have for a lifetime. I highly encourage anyone watching this to try something similar someday. I mean, seriously, think about it. This was a trip planned only days beforehand, at the worst time of the year, on the absolute worst style of motorcycle possible, super sports, with little to no bike maintenance done. We got rained on, had 2 bike failures, killed a damn bird, and still, to this day, this has been, without a doubt, the most treasured motorcycling experience of my life. So use the tips I provided in the video. Of course, be safe. And as always, have a good day, stay enthusiastic, and I'll see you on the next one.